All right, so imagine a city blessed by a goddess. And then, in one fell swoop, a single theft threatens to ruin everything. That's what we're diving into today. We're going to explore this incredible ancient myth, the quest for Athena's lost owl. And along the way, we'll uncover some really powerful words that are hidden right inside this classic story.
I mean, just think about that for a sec. What would actually happen if the very thing that makes a society smart and successful just disappears? Poof. Gone. That one question, right there, is the absolute heart of the conflict in this story. So get ready, because what we've got here is a classic showdown. You've got divine power, you've got this super cunning deceit, and then you have pure human courage. These are our main players, and their clash, well, it's going to decide the fate of a whole city.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Our story kicks off in a city that's at the absolute peak of its power. We're talking about Athens, a place seemingly blessed by the gods. But, as you can guess, a shadow is about to fall.
You see, ancient Athens wasn't just rich, it was wise. And that wisdom, it wasn't just an idea, it was a real living thing, a symbol. It was the sacred owl of the goddess Athena. This owl was literally the key to their prosperity because it represented this divine gift they had, something called sagacity. And this word, sagacity, it's so important here. Let's break it down. It's not just about being smart or having a high IQ. No, it's much deeper than that. It's about having keen judgment, right? It's that practical wisdom that lets you see the right path and make good calls over and over. For the people of Athens, this wasn't just some nice quality to have, it was their superpower. It was the very engine of all their success.
But you know how it goes. Where there's light, there's got to be some jealousy lurking in the shadows. And along comes this trickster spirit, a guy named Thalos. His motivation? Pure, unadulterated malice. He steals the owl. And the effect is instant. And it's devastating. The city just plunges into calamity. We're talking total disaster. And its people are left in absolute anguish.
And that word, malice, is really important to understand. This isn't about greed. Thalos doesn't want the owl to get rich or powerful. His main driver is just malice, a pure, deep-down desire to do evil, to see other people suffer. He literally just wants to watch this great city fall apart just for the sick satisfaction of it.
So, with Athens completely falling apart, someone has to step up. A hero has to rise to the occasion. And that brings us to part 2 of our story, a single vow that's about to change everything.
Now, our hero isn't who you might expect. It's not some muscle-bound warrior king. Nope, it's a young scholar named Lysandra. And she's known for 2 big things, her incredible courage, her valor, and her smart, careful judgment, her prudence. When she sees what's happening to her city, the suffering of her people, she's the one who steps up and vows to make things right.
And Lysandra knows this isn't going to be a walk in the park. This quest is dangerous, and that's exactly what Valor is, right? It's not about not being scared. It's about being terrified and doing it anyway. It's courage in the face of real danger, and she is absolutely ready to face whatever's coming head on.
So, the path forward is tough, but it's clear. Think of it like a 4-step plan. Step 1, she's got to go seek the oracle to get some guidance, kind of like a divine mission briefing. Step 2, she has to enter the labyrinth. And this isn't just a maze of walls, it's a maze of pure deceit. Step 3, inside that labyrinth, she's got to face down a terrifying guardian. And only if she can get through all that can she finally restore the owl.
And you can just hear her determination in her own words here. She's not just saying, "I'll fix this problem." She's saying she'll face any danger to restore Felicity. And that's a great word. It means that deep, profound happiness and well-being. She's fighting for the soul of her city.
Okay, so she's made her vow. Now comes the hard part. Lysandra enters the labyrinth of deceit. This is the heart of enemy territory, a place literally designed to trap you, to trick you, and to destroy anyone who dares to walk its halls.
And inside this labyrinth, the battle lines are drawn really clearly. It's a total clash of opposites. You've got Lysandra's tenacity, her just sheer refusal to give up, going up against Thalos' avarice, his bottomless greed. You have her careful prudence fighting his blinding arrogance, his hubris. And her secret weapon, her eloquence, her powerful way with words, has to cut through all of his lies and deceit.
And let's talk about that word, hubris. This is such a critical concept, especially in Greek myths. It's almost always the villain's fatal flaw.
Hubris is that crazy, excessive pride, that arrogance that makes you think you're untouchable, that the rules don't apply to you. And for Thalos, this is going to be the very thing that brings him down.
And here it is, the big test. Thalos, who's just dripping with avarice, tries to tempt her. He offers her riches, just a massive pile of wealth. He thinks everyone is just like him, that everyone can be bought. He completely misjudges who he's dealing with.
But Lysandra, she doesn't even blink. She's completely unmoved, and this is where her eloquence shines. She doesn't just say no, she throws his weakness right back in his face, calling out his hubris directly. She sees his offer for exactly what it is, not a real temptation, but just a pathetic sign of his own arrogant foolishness.
All right, so she's navigated the maze, she's beaten the trickster at his own game. She reaches the very heart of the labyrinth. But it's not over yet. Oh no, now she has to face the final obstacle.
And guarding the owl is a harpy, a creature of just pure, brutal ferocity. Now, a different kind of hero might have drawn a sword and started swinging, but Lysandra, she relies on a different kind of strength entirely, her fortitude.
So what is fortitude? It's not about being physically strong. It's about having this deep inner strength. It's that quiet courage that lets you endure pain, hardship, and just not break. It's moral and mental resilience. And in this moment, that turns out to be Lysandra's ultimate weapon, way more powerful than any blade.
So, by passing this final test, not with violence, but with virtue, Lysandra succeeds. She did it. And now we get to see the payoff, the resolution, and the massive impact her victory has on everyone.
And the change is just immediate and total. With the owl, the symbol of sagacity, back where it belongs, the city is transformed. That state of calamity, all that confusion and despair, it just gets wiped away and replaced with renewed prosperity. Wisdom is back, and with it, the very soul of the city has been restored.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? The legacy of this story really boils down to a few key lessons. First, that true wisdom, that sagacity, isn't something that just sits there. It requires action. It demands courage, valor, and inner strength, fortitude. We get a pretty stark warning that things like greed and hubris, they only lead to disaster. And maybe most importantly, we see that the dedication of just one person can be powerful enough to save an entire community. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Because this ancient story, it's not really just about gods and monsters, is it? It's about the virtues that we all have inside of us. So it kind of makes you think, in our own lives, right? In our jobs, in our families, in our communities, where could a little bit of courage and a little bit of sagacity restore some light?